Silence.
Oh, yes, she fell.
Diamonds, my god!
By the way, this all takes place in the suicide forest, so she was trying to kill herself.
Oh, lovely.
Don't remind me.
That's the thing that exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, she took off her shoes, so... Yeah, in Japan, if you're gonna jump to your death, you take off your shoes first.
Okay, Japan, you need to work on your mental health issues.
They have a lot of issues.
Thankfully, this forest has had less and less over time. There are plenty of preventative groups that are out there trying to help people.
Thank goodness.
Oh, thank God.
Just shipping them to the mountains and saying, they're your problem now.
Along with a lot of notes and messages telling people where to get help and not to do it, which has had a lot of success.
Yes, finally they acknowledge that people need help.
Yeah.
So she either fell into Land of the Lost or 1998 Godzilla.
Or
I
Ghidorah.
want to say 1998 Godzilla.
Wait. She's a random woman in a nest. Ari, you must say the phrase.
No,
No, this is not in this.
No.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I see eggs. Never mind.
Xenomorph egg. Xenomorph egg.
Eggs.
Ah!
Why do I get the sense that there's going to be a
What the hell?
Struthio Mimus singing about eggs in about 5 seconds?
Oh, I remember that.
Somebody's trying to break out of there with a Tommy gun, apparently.
Well, that'd be
sound
one way to
effect?
make an entrance.
Listen.
It is a zombie fight.
Okay, you know what? Gangster dinosaurs need to be a movie in and of themselves.
Yes.
Okay, you know...
You're mine.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's a big eye.
Weren't you also planning for gangster dinosaurs in your magical girl series?
Yes.
Please. Evo, please.
Well, getting eaten by dinosaurs is a strange method for suicide, but whatever floats your boat.
I don't think she died.
No?
Is it just me, or are
We never see her again.
we all have like pretty good ideas for mangas and
Oh, she's alive.
oh crap.
And it's dubbed. Come on. And subtitles. You're right. You're safe.
Well, technically, there's no count.
Hurry up! Get over here!
You need to shriek that?
What?
That's a big plane.
Jeez, that's huge.
Here you are, and have a nice flight.
Ooh, who are these?
I thought that was the twins for a second.
Peanuts, no,
Yes,
get out of this
Mothra's
movie!
canon.
Thank you. The strange
Mothra is canon.
struck the northern
Yes, I want her to fight those dinosaurs.
causing snowstorms in the middle of
Wait,
summer.
don't you mean
The first time
Dinosaur
this
and
has ever been known to happen
Yeah.
in the history of Japan.
Mothra
Yeah.
versus
A
Monster.
stone egg was discovered in the rainforest area.
Yes.
Did he say a stone egg?
Yeah.
I think so.
Doesn't that mean rock?
Wait, she actually fights a dinosaur, though.
Yeah, she bit him on the tail.
And kept screaming hysterically.
I hope this was intended to be a TV and not...
The stone egg is not a
Stone egg.
Stone egg. You mean a rock?
Plane's leaving pretty soon. That would be a rock solid
The
omelet.
discovery of the
Yum.
petrified egg
Yummy.
adds another
Now I'm
reason
hungry.
to many strange phenomena that have been happening.
Do you smell what the rock is cooking?
Los Angeles and Mexico City is now.
I had to do it.
Now I'm hungry for rocks.
Oh, she said.
I had pizzas.
Game
Pizza.
over.
And double pizza.
Did anyone
The
hear
user
yet from
wins.
Mr. Tommy's family? There's a telephone call for
Mr.
him.
Commie's family.
Mr. Commie.
Mr.
Oh,
Commie?
these subtitles are hilarious.
Oh.
Isn't that kind of like saying the guy Mr. God?
Two big eyes.
Mr.
Pretentious prick.
Moving?
No. Come on, I am.
Oh, it's Mr. Is this like Mr.
No,
Gangster
Gavel the
Dude
Dragon
or something?
Balls.
Or is this like Mr. Elvis Presley?
Yeah, well, Mystery Science Theater named him Disco Eskimo
Biggest
Spy. Here, how about you
Oh,
chew on my
God.
words?
Universal Studios. Oh wait, no.
Get
No.
used to this
Don't.
kind of music, by the way.
Ashizawa,
It never gets
you
more
were supposed
intense
to go
than
to
this.
Mexico.
So we
I thought
have
you'd be halfway there by
Japanese
now.
Elvis Presley.
You
I
were
wonder if they're
insistent
ever
on
going to
going
do a
Mexico
crossover
to
with
study
Demon
those
Slayer,
rocks
so
they found in the
Japanese
jungles
Michael
of
Jackson.
Yucatan.
Well, according to the music, he's just off screen.
That petrified
Thank
egg?
you, sir. Thank you very much.
You're not being very practical.
Ho 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 ho.
Well,
Yeah, my grandfather actually served with Elvis during World War II.
And in the same area near Mount Fuji.
He didn't even know it was.
This isn't a
Didn't even
question of what
recognize
your
him until
father
years
found.
later.
you should remember that you're a geologist and you're supposed to be practical.
Yeah, see? You should be practical, see?
Well,
Even
I mean,
a
if,
cigar,
Right
see?
mind.
so
also
Universal
dead.
Stone. I know this is a
So-
geology plant,
That's
and
why
that's
I've got to go
their
see it
application and stuff. Like they're the kind of people that go out to scout for minerals, for
Then you
mining,
won't
or
change your
petroleum.
You've been a
That
very
just sounds like a
think of the
Flintstone
other
company
employees.
name.
Yeah.
It probably
Yeah,
is.
Flintstones.
Flintstones. Be the
Eat the
Flintstones.
Flintstones.
Okay,
So,
now we have
hey,
the
there's
Flintstones
dinosaurs in this one
crossover.
too.
So this is a
Oh.
world.
He did not
That's a
disrupt
fire
anything.
hazard.
It's a
That
strange
stone egg
world,
turned
Evo.
out to be a real dinosaur egg.
Yeah.
What's that?
So, Japanese
So
Elvis
what's
Presley
going to
is
be
meaning-
crossing over next?
Dinosaur?
So,
Uh,
Japanese Elvis Presley is meaning Kazuma Kiryu. No, seriously, he looks like
Whoa, what the-
Kiryu.
What the?
Eh?
Ooh, that was...
Title drop.
That's it. Not
But what
a
is
half
this, a
bad
Monty
title.
Python intro?
Oh, now it's crossing over with Monty Python now. Okay, so we're into the non-psych
Here
and
comes the
coming
music.
slash people.
Well, I have a feeling that whoever was in charge of the scientific application in this had the same qualifications as the knight from Monty Python. Who
Yeah,
are
the
you so
knight.
wise in the ways of science?
Oh, God. Oh, you mean Sir Bedivere?
Yep.
Disco.
Okay,
I
I'm
want to
sorry,
say
but
one thing. If you ever want to have a good time with your parents, put this music on, and they'll probably recognize some tracks.
Dad doesn't recognize
Okay.
anything.
Tarb, I'm sorry. I can't take this music seriously.
I can't.
I hear
It's
this.
not a kaiju.
No, here's the thing. I hear this music, and I think of Debbie Does Dallas.
Now, there is something I want to brief you all on. At
Yes.
the time of production, this was the biggest budgeted movie Toei ever made.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And on top of that, it also was the biggest budgeted kaiju film ever made.
Talk about...
So when
Box
you see
office
the effects, keep in mind most Godzilla movies were made on half this budget.
Oh no.
Yeah, but Tarb, considering it features a company called Universal Stone, I think we know where most of the budget went.
Yeah. Lawsuit.
That way nobody will come to the Dragon Festival. You want us to help you set it up?
Or,
But you
drugs.
can't expect us to work for
And here's the
Drugs.
weird thing. They set this thing
Part-time, still
near
at work.
Lake Saito,
With young ideas
but there
and
actually
excellent
is a lake
results.
with a lake
Well,
monster in Japan, but it's not the one they picked.
Aw, come on, say that.
I...
Yeah, during the 70s, Japan kind of had a bit of a plesiosaur craze.
Huh.
Oh yeah, they did.
Where's the Fuji wind hole? I saw it on television.
This is
You
due
wanna
to
go
a
there?
fishing
Yeah,
boat and
sure.
drill. Like
Ah, don't worry,
discovery
it's not
was
my job.
supposedly
Wow,
a must
place.
or remain.
Better be careful.
Yeah, it was down in New Zealand. It actually
Been
was
lot
a
of strange
decayed
things
basking
happening
shark.
up there this summer.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It was run off and
When
disappeared.
basking sharks decay, they do it in this weird way where the jaw apparatus falls out, so what looks like
snakes.
what's actually the nose and the eyes looks like a long, skinny neck.
Hey, you guys want a job and come with me?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to look for a snake.
You
He's
gotta
looking
be
for the
kidding.
Fuji wind
We
hole.
could use the money, but there isn't enough money in the
What?
world to get you to
The
go up
Fuji
there.
wind hole.
That does not sound pleasant.
Raise heroes,
Did I
seek
mention
the
that Toei used to make a lot of porn?
I'm
What?
not surprised.
Toei's
Yes.
main export used to be porn.
Yeah, we were young and we needed the money.
Oh, okay, that
A lot of
explains
those
so
artists
much
are
of the soundtrack.
Yeah, well,
That
this was the
helpful.
70s, this was very common. I mean, does anyone remember 70s Doctor Strange, the on-air TV pilot?
Yep.
Nope,
I remember
never
that
seen
one.
it.
Oh, great.
I've seen it, and most of the soundtrack sounds like 70s porn music.
Oh.
Probably because it was 70s porn.
So, somebody threw centipedes on the ground.
Oh, I'd scream.
I hate centipedes.
I
Oh,
hate those.
don't worry, I protect you, sweetie.
That what he sees?
One time, I can
What the fuck?
So
Okay,
he takes his long string and his hardwood to penetrate the wind hole.
Tarb,
Nothing
don't.
about that
Just
Nothing
Tarb,
about that magic arm found in.
Sorry.
just stop where you are. Just stop.
Smack you up for
I
that.
promise that was the last one.
I call
Now, this may not be a good time to mention that I'm a bit drunk.
Shut up, Tim.
One time, I.
No, you have a point, Ari. We must go in slow, gently, not too rushed.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
clearly
geez.
the wind hole's shaking, so he was a little bit too aggressive.
God, you
No,
guys stop.
smack
Okay.
the pillow. I'll give you smack on the pillow.
I never thought. I didn't think that the Earth was supposed to move until the honeymoon.
I tried
Oh,
to say
you
that.
filthy bastard.
So he's got water dripping on him. Is he gonna wake up and there's a xenomorph looming over him?
You
Okay,
yeah,
I
you're
was
right.
kidding.
Oh,
Okay.
You finally woke up.
that's
He's
horrifying.
He's
to me,
dead,
okay?
sadly.
So, okay, there's centipedes all over the place in the forest. There's crocodiles where you wake up. Are sure these guys not in Florida?
You always have to make that
Father's
joke,
cabin.
don't you?
I'm not joking. There's giant centipedes down here.
I'm using it for
Yeah, you want to be careful on which trees you might rip the bark off, because there's like 6-inch long to 8-inch long blue centipedes.
Hello, U.S. military. I'm calling for a nuclear strike on the state of Florida.
Hey.
Get down here.
No, we'll make
Everybody
it
in Florida
worse.
needs to leave.
Can you imagine all that wildlife just
Trying
being
to follow your
radiated?
father's footsteps?
Oh no.
No, guys, if you nuke Florida, you only turn Tarb into Tarbzilla.
Oh God!
If Florida got nuked, we would all be fucked given all the wildlife we got down here.
In all seriousness, though, I think if I ever go down there, I'm going to make sure to secure the hems of my pants with zip ties.
You probably should,
So
you
I'll
know,
have to crawl up there.
we have mosquitoes with proboscis strong enough to bite through a hoodie.
Oh God!
Oh, you've got to be.
Why?
This stone your father.
Okay,
Well,
gotta be
here's
why?
here's the good thing. Those mosquitoes kill other mosquitoes.
Oh, okay, new plan. I need to just get an entire set of armored clothes before I go down there.
Yeah, me too.
Ah, stone
And
eggs.
I don't.
Not just armor clothes. I'm going to bring a full plate mail when I go
I
down there.
believe
Huh?
I know more about
I-
Mount Fuji than anyone else.
Just
who
don't
lives around.
nuke us from orbit. That's just
I
gonna
used
make
to
it
argue
all
with your
worse.
father all the time. I said,
I
This
believe the
is-
phrase
goes.
goes.
A snake said.
Oh, no.
Your
I
father
believe
said
the
it was a
phrase
dinosaur.
that we were
You
looking
thought
for
that
is-
was a snake egg.
Stubborn man.
That's not a snake egg.
That's not
That's
a
one
snake.
fat
yet.
snake.
What kind of snake do
Maybe
you
I'm
think
stubborn, too.
exists?
They honestly thought it was a
How
big
about it?
python.
Will you be my
Titanoboa?
Seriously?
Titanoboa haven't been discovered yet.
You're going to make money out of it. They're psychics.
I won't.
Maybe it's the big snakey from Sekiro.
Wait, this guy doesn't want them to make any money off of it.
Loser.
70s.
How long does it take for that egg to hatch?
Dirty commies.
What the fuck?
Meanwhile, we're in the scuba episode from Keijo, apparently.
It's really disgusting green water.
No,
It's
it
only
isn't.
a-
It's just
And
silt.
yellow scuba gear, man. The fashion.
A lot of lakes have this when you get deeper.
Guys, I'm trying to process
What?
what Ari just said. Dirty green water, not far from the wind hole.
Oh, son of a.
What?
And
you
know,
stop
I don't
it.
care.
Duct tape is about weeks.
Is
Wait.
hold on? Is everything that Tarps say about
Everything I say, what?
Joe?
Are you guys watching?
Legend of Dinosaurs and Monster Birds.
Who's there?
Yep,
It's based.
I heard it.
You could jump in on either me or Lance's stream. We're watching it at the same time.
Yeah.
Never seen it before.
Yeah, we're pretty much insane now, Faye.
Oh, puppy.
You better not hurt that dog.
Poor little.
Oh, look, it's a
Oh,
monster
check it out.
movie, and they have a dog. Oh, it's not gonna end well.
Wait.
Please, if the dog dies, the
Dog.
monster must die.
There.
Wait, this came out right after
Maybe the
Jaws.
water temperature is too warm for them.
Do you hear that?
Poor thing.
I hear the.
Oh. I
Someone
wanna
give the
eat.
little puppy all the good switches.
Hey, a lot of fray fish. Just scoop them up.
Yeah, but then you gotta admit they might be toxic.
Yeah.
Plus, who knows what kind of parasites are in them? I do not
Simple.
like to.
That's why you cook it.
Oh no. Yeah, that's why you cook the shit out of it.
Do they cook sushi? I don't think so.
Didn't someone use the oxygen destroyer in this era?
Maybe.
Well, what do they do? What do they do to sanitize sushi?
Hang on, I can't hear Space. What?
I have a movie suggestion for when you stream next time.
What's up?
Ever heard of a Danish monster movie called Reptilicus?
There's
Yes, I
nothing
have.
on the outside.
Yes, indeed, I have.
Kind of hard to hear.
That is a name I have not heard
Yeah.
in a long time.
Just like Lamont.
Like Le Mans.
It's been a year.
Like Le Bon.
We'll always
I was
have
thinking maybe
like
that
Le
could be
Mans.
Le Mans,
something-
I guess it takes place in Japan, France.
I was thinking
Wow.
that could be
Le
something that you
Le
could
Bon.
stream next time.
That's a funny word.
Maybe. These streams, I was kind of sticking to the smaller monster movies. That's why I can't believe it's not Jaws month.
Okay, so what was that you mentioning about the porno earlier?
No more. No more.
Hey.
Go forward. I want.
Oh my God! Is there gonna be? If there's gonna be a scene here,
Oh, they got it.
Oh, got caught by eels.
Oh, snakes.
Why are there eels?
That's a lot of eels.
are those? Wait, those are eels?
Why are
Eels.
Yeah. Eels.
Why does she have eels in her?
Food.
Oh, I
I
remember
never
those.
heard of them. You don't usually have them still kicking like that.
Let's go further
For a moment, I thought
Yeah,
this was
you're
gonna
supposed to
turn
whack
into
them on the
Calicula.
head.
You didn't knock
I
it hard
remember
enough,
those.
apparently.
Ooh, I have to ask, Tarb, have
Yeah?
you and Faith ridden in those yet?
No.
No, but I mean they are on the options boat, sweetie.
Uh,
There are paddle boat services down here.
Oh my god, yes. Next visit.
Yee.
Oh my
Nice.
God, you two. Okay, you two are always adorable together.
But please give me a life vest because all I know how to do is doggy
Oh, of course, sweetie. Though I'll teach you how to swim more if
What
you
the-
want.
Damn it! Oh yes, I'd love to have swimming lessons.
Look, they killed them off screen.
No.
Oh no.
What? They
Oh,
literally killed them off on screen.
Wait.
Holy shit!
Where's
Oh,
the
come
dog?
I want a refund.
Doggy
no,
wasn't with them.
Bruce, that was kill you.
The dog's okay.
On
The
screen.
pupper is
Uber
fine.
will live. Where's the dog go?
Please.
Dog okay.
Guys, let's. Alright, guys, let's reassure ourselves we are not having another dog murder in this.
No, no
Hey,
dog murder.
so far we're 4 for 4 when it comes to baby murder with these. I can't believe it's not Jaws movies. I'm not writing anything off the list.
Oh my ew.
And now this is turning into a Lucio Fulci movie.
I bet it was Nessie, the monster.
Nessie?
Nessie the monster.
Nessie is
Man, you're 1,000 miles from the Loch Ness lass.
Okay, so
Scotland.
what's happening right now is
So-
that Japanese Elvis Presley in
No
Japanese France is fighting Japanese Nessie.
And
It's the strangest crossover.
this isn't a mistranslation. I checked. In the Japanese, they still call the monster Nessie.
Another monster.
On top of that, Fred Flintstone's factory is in this
Is that the answer?
well.
So- You know, Europe's in Japan, I guess, in this universe.
Something like that really exists.
I got the manky hat. I'm a black Scottish cyclops. I got more.
So they got the likes of me.
a wow.
So,
Let it be known that it's related to the
What do
Black
you think
Beast
of
of
the earthquakes we
Oh.
Well, nature's way of retaliating.
Well,
oh, they're gonna have to glue you back together in hell.
Yes, the nature retaliates against humans thing. I always loved this.
Survive at that time.
Hmm.
Just by having a lot of
Like, that hasn't been done to death.
I'd find a hiding place.
Listen close.
Like the dinosaur your father kept searching for. After a few thousand years of hibernation, you'd suddenly come alive again.
I would if
1,000 years.
Listen.
The reason your father's theory about a living dinosaur wasn't accepted was the fear that it would throw the whole world into total panic.
Seriously.
And Franklin, who discovered electricity, found a toad one day that had been hibernating for several million years, and he brought it back to life again.
What?
No.
So finding a dinosaur is within the realm of possibility.
Wait till the scene's
Keep in
done.
mind, if a dinosaur appears, we'll also have magnitude 5 earthquakes.
The money you can make is in proportion to the danger. Isn't that right? Apparently, if a dinosaur appears,
Ah,
we'll
she's
have magnitude 5 earthquakes. And that's bad?
What, do they think all dinosaurs are kaiju?
Apparently, and Ben Franklin discovered a million-year-old frog, and
Frankenstein the bitch?
dinosaurs cause earthquakes.
This is probably a weird way to enter the dream crystal.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Crystal.
This was kind of impromptu, so we'll be doing another one later in the week, as well as with the Mystery Science Theater riffing.
And hopefully some of us less drunk because of Keijo.
You know what that scene that just now reminded me of?
What?
What?
And look, my liege, is why we know the shape of the Earth is why we know the Earth to be banana-shaped. This new learning amazes me, Sir Bedivere. Tell me again how sheep's bladder can be employed to prevent earthquakes.
So you're saying this whole plot could have been prevented if Japan just used more sheep's bladders?
So, what exactly are we watching here?
Legend of Dinosaurs and Monster Birds, a movie that manages to actually have absolutely zero dinosaurs and no monster birds either.
Which, of course, the title is an oxymoron unto itself.
I showed the poster. It's in safer work. You gotta scroll up because somebody posted the comic.
So, there's weird happenings around the lake. We opened on a scene of an egg hatching that apparently is using a Tommy gun to open, given the noises.
Yeah.
And petrified eggs. And there's the doggo.
Old ladies explain
red
something.
eyes like the Chinese lantern plant would come and eat them up. The ancient people of this area were very superstitious about dragons.
You know, it's very comforting to know that the ancient people of this area threatened to drown their babies or feed them to dragons if they didn't shut up.
Well, that's one way to raise your kids.
Oh, the puffer.
Puppy!
Well, there are worse ways to raise your kids.
A horse, of course.
It's not like they myths don't do that. Remember there's an old myth, a German myth about cutting off kids' thumbs that don't stop sucking
Oof.
them?
Oh,
disgusting.
gee.
There's a literal German myth about that. Oh.
Kuma?
I thought Spank.
Dog is Kuma?
Oh, ow.
Okay, just to
No,
clarify,
don't
that
let the
is
doggy die.
mostly mud. This is the
Okay.
one bloody shot in the movie.
Oh, my.
Oh!
What the frick?
Oh, that's not the dog.
That's the horse.
I think that horse's head ran away to appear in The Godfather.
Oh, my God.
Don't worry, the dog's fine.
Where's the dog?
Oh, I thought that was Nedry from
He's somewhere else, sadly.
Where's the
His La Noblar.
I was kidding when I mentioned Lucio Fulci, but this is really turning into an Italian exploitation.
Don't worry, I checked the credits, no animals were harmed, and that's pretty much the only bloody scene in the movie.
Thank God.
I didn't feel like it was really worth noting since we'd all seen worse so far.
Thank God. I don't want to see another cannibal holocaust.
No, I'm not gonna show a Fulci movie.
No,
Oh,
please
frick
no.
no.
Thank God for that.
No Juri Ito movie either.
No.
No Junji
But I still have to fill
Horror
the
anime manga is. Don't look him up.
Oh, Junji Ito.
Junji Ito.
Yes, Junji.
Junji Ito, looking it up.
Look
Oh,
at
boy.
his manga. Look at his manga.
He does
It's
have some
very
really good art, I will give that. See,
Creepy art, but good.
see, you could hear the
Yeah, that's
fine.
like with this art style, he was very much born to illustrate horror manga.
Yep.
Because
Kind of like how H.R. Geiger was born to create like horror aliens.
So,
There's a pool of blood.
what we're told is that the horse was decapitated in the span of like 2 seconds, and then something clearly killing it to hunt it for food, walked off with the bony part, leaving
Are we
behind
sure
all the
it
meat.
wasn't? Are we sure it wasn't just a statement made by the Godfather?
Maybe it was. Maybe the plesiosaur really is in the mafia, like we were joking earlier.
My theory, based on the 3 minutes I've seen of this movie, is that the filmmaker's explanation was that Deadpool found a lightsaber and hopped into a movie for 3 seconds just to pull a prank.
Well, an explanation you missed by a span of 5 seconds was that dinosaurs cause earthquakes, so I wouldn't be too far off that theory.
So apparently in Japan, all dinosaurs are kaiju.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there is a dinosaur called Sora Poseidon, which literally means lizard earthquake god, so...
Oh.
But that's actually
that makes
but
sense,
you see, that's
actually.
actually a dinosaur, though. This is a plesiosaur.
Yep.
Which is not
So,
a dinosaur.
No.
I have a question. If it is really Deadpool, does that mean we're going to get a lightsaber fight with him and Freddie Flintstone?
I mean, we have had a group called Universal Stone in the movie, which sounds like a Flintstone parody, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I was just wondering if there was a front company for Universal Studios to legally buy. I mean, considering this is the 7th band for.
Oh,
man. What's that?
Doesn't
like
look like a
listener
tire mark.
music.
Doesn't look like a tire mark.
Oh, and Crystal, the soundtrack is pretty much entirely funk music.
Play that funky music.
Yeah, bad. Play that not even remotely funky music, Vanilla Ice!
That's not even off.
that funky music now. Oh my god.
So,
That's the other horse.
the horse got attacked by the world's biggest leopard.
Or it was attacked by the predator and put in the tree because it was unworthy prey.
But the predator clearly took a trophy. That implies it was worthy.
The horse has
Beverly Hillbillies now?
I'm sure you all know the history of Mount Fuji. So, going back about 30 million years, you'll find this whole area was completely covered by water. Can you imagine that? And then slowly, a little here and a little there, it came out of the water.
Thank you,
And that's
Japanese
how
Travel Network.
Since its formation, it's always been a scenic wonder, and
You know what, I'm just gonna quote Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, even though I've only been here for 5 minutes. Obviously, this movie has its head up its own anus. Well, that answers pretty much all of my questions.
I thought Mount Fuji was supposed to be the, like, bridge to heaven for Princess Kaguya.
It was, among many other things.
And who's here convinced that Kubo and the Two Strings is a sequel to Princess Kaguya?
There he is.
That like a Japanese cowboy.
Oh,
Or a brother on skates. Like a blizzard in Georgia.
Now Japanese cowboy.
See, the puppers just fine.
Yay.
If we can get a police officer and, let's see.
A hunter and a biologist on a boat.
I was gonna say, if we get the Elvis and the cowboy, a biker and, let's see.
A bearded lady.
Yeah, then we'd have a band.
Yep.
It means a monster.
YMCA.
Just stick around.
YMCA.
So he's looking at hip diagrams for some reason.
It
Why?
has nothing to do with the situation right now.
Well, I mean, if dinosaurs can apparently cause earthquakes by proximity alone, I don't rule out anything at this point.
Hey, don't start that dinosaur thing. I like the theory that it's just a big snake. Think about it. A big snake eating up all those cows and horses.
I mean, they have giant boars, so it wouldn't be giant.
No, that was Korea.
That's in Korea, my bad.
Well, actually, Japanese did create it.
Well, yeah, remember in Shaw that the Japanese somehow created the giant boar.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's true, that's true.
Yeah, because in case any of you missed it, Korea really doesn't like Japan.
Not
Yeah,
necessarily
although
without reason.
Guys,
Yeah,
it was
there's-
Korea.
South Korea.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, to be fair here, like Darb said, it's not like Korea doesn't have good reason to. They were the ones who had to put up with World War II era Japan longer than anybody else.
Mhm.
Wait,
told me many years ago.
is that an accurate drawing of a plesiosaur?
It's hard. You see, plesiosaurs come in two types. You have plesiosaur proper, which are long neck, lean body, small head, and then you have pliosaurs, which have big heads, short necks, long crocodile-like jaws. They used to think that they were two different families that split, but it seems more that they're just different body types that evolved multiple times in different groups.
Kind of like dogs.
So there are some types of plesiosaurs that have a stockier body like that.
So kind of like dogs.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have long neck and skinny jaws.
He didn't do that with a lot of the Mothra songs.
I think
They tend not to try. Most dubbers are smart enough to know that it's like they can dub dialogue, but trying to dub music is often an exercise in futility.
Okay, we just gotta keep the pupper away from the water.
Yeah.
Yes. So long
Everyone
as
else out of the water.
I'm okay.
I thought the only country song that Japan knew legitimately was Country Road.
You'd be surprised what's been popular in Japan at certain points.
I know.
It's also you'd be surprised. Like, there's a surprisingly large amount of people who are one-hit wonder or bands or singers in the States and Britain who are gigantic smash hits in Japan.
Well,
Jaws.
Dun-dun-dun. So just imagine if Jaws had this music playing when he was lurking.
No.
Oh no.
Whoa!
No music on it.
We've got the dinosaur? Oh,
We haven't seen the reveal's not here yet.
So I also briefed everyone, and I will brief you again. This was the highest budgeted movie Toei made at the point, and it had a budget almost twice that of most Godzilla movies. So when we see the monster, keep that in mind.
Money well spent, no doubt.
What year was this made in, Tarb?
1977.
1977. I was hoping it was going to be some really awful 90s CGI based on that.
Yeah,
This is Toei.
keep this in mind.
Some bad puppetry.
Another fun thing to keep in mind is that when this movie was made, Toei had already started doing Super Sentai and Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm.
It's a monster! What are you doing?
The monster, let's point and shout at it instead of getting away from the water.
Hey, don't worry, everyone. That's not a sea monster. It's a tank.
It's as big as a tank.
And to anybody who gets that reference, I award you
Pokemon.
2 thumbs up.
Come on.
Freaking Gyarados tank.
Oh, I see the
So-
fin.
Hurry up, come on!
That's a fan.
Get out of here! It's a dinosaur! Run! Run!
My God, it's as big as a battleship. You can swim.
Let's get out of here! Hurry up, run!
It's like a sea-bound ship.
How do they can tell if that's a dinosaur based on a fin?
I just love how non-enthusiastic these people are about getting away from an obvious monster. If anyone dies, I just...
Oh my
god. Oh my god.
Don't worry, it's supposed to be a hoax.
Okay.
They're not that
Okay.
Somebody freaking pull him out of the water.
Okay.
So, it is supposed to be fake.
That's actually fine.
I mean, as far as a hoax goes, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it probably didn't account of someone having Zoom.
Kind of creative,
Yeah.
When the weather gets bad, some people go mad.
He's
So
the
let's have fun. Here we go.
He's just fine. His clothes washed off really quickly.
Right.
Washed off?
Between takes, no doubt.
Dried off.
Dried off.
Talk about,
It's the power of country road.
The power of the country road dried him quickly.
Way country roads.
You and your barbershop short shorts.
Who wears short shorts?
They're comfortable and easy to wear.
Oh, God. Okay, guys, I'll be
I
honest.
hate
I
short
hear who wears short
shorts.
shorts,
What happened to
and I think of this high school bully that I had to deal with my freshman year.
Oof.
Oh, sorry, dude. I don't mean to give you PTSD.
Oh, it's fine, because one day in gym class, it was January, we were doing badminton, and he said something, and I completely forget what it was, but he literally blacked out, and about 2 seconds later, I had classmates trying to pull me off the damn bastard.
Boy, I'm all pooped out.
Well done.
Wasn't easy.
Golf clap.
And here's the thing, I was attacking him with the badminton racket in my hand.
Oh, that just makes it even better.
Ooh, what's going on?
Someone's about to get
Meant
numb.
do.
Cheeto.
Nope.
So,
Who's Cheeto?
I think he's about to get snapped up like a Cheeto.
Come on. Oh no, it's Gino DeLorenzo.
But, yeah, ever since that day in January, Ty Stone has not picked on me since.
Nice.
Nice, dude.
Oh, good. It's the barbershop op shorts guy.
Oh,
Hey!
sharps.
Get out of there!
All right.
Alright.
I should be safe since I am not in the water.
Almost unhealthiest things, smoking near the lake.
Let's see.
You're really curious what this monster...
Here we go.
Here we go. Keep in mind,
Alright, that wasn't...
the
that
budget.
decent.
Shake that camera, zoom it.
That was a decent bit of scale-mation right there.
So he's creating a whirlpool as legitimate strategy.
Oh, cigarette.
What the?
Tail
It was not a...
The fence was not lowered.
Moving is not fit. The music is not fit.
Yeah, notorious for
What is it? What is this? James Bond?
This is my action music.
And yeah, of course, when Tentacle arrives, it turns into porn.
Oh, good luck.
It's a tail, to be fair.
Tail.
Okay, the tail doesn't look terrible.
Wait,
But-
you see
Why
the
is still
face.
staring?
Ah, I think here it is.
What the? Seriously?
Again, keep it moving. This is
Oh my
Godzilla.
I was
Oh
just
my
trying
goodness.
to save him from drowning.
Large forest, sea of trees.
I feel like I'm gonna be sick.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. All of a sudden, my stomach started hurting. When I saw
Hello,
that.
random white girl.
Hello, American.
Probably the only American tourist that they can get legitimately for the time.
The monster's here!
Look.
All right. We've had enough of your practical jokes. Now get out of the office. It's not a joke anymore.
So we're crossing
Not a
over
joke
with the boy
anymore.
cried wolf now.
Wait, is that Jackie Chan?
No.
No.
Aw, dang, we couldn't get Jackie Chan.
That didn't help us at all.
Don't worry, Jackie Chan comes into the sequel. It's where he
does?
fights the monster.
Yes.
The festival's all over.
Don't worry, they also got All Might for the sequel as well.
Serious?
It's the sun.
Oh, no.
Praise the sun!
About 20
Praise the
meters
sun,
long.
praise
The hedge is about here.
Oh, look, another
How did he
American.
know the exact
Whoa,
metrics?
that's a foreigner.
Where's the mayor? Where's the mayor?
Where's the mirror?
Call the mayor.
Where's the mayor?
Call the mayor, man.
What's all this now? Making
Where's this?
Oh my God! Just Japanese J. Jonah Jameson.
It's big news.
Holy crap, he looks like he's from the. No.
I want pictures of Spider-Man on my desk! No, this movie was written by adults. Just remind you that. Really super big news.
And now the plesiosaurus, Jason Voorhees.
Someone wrote that.
So.
Uh-oh. Up. Now.
So.
Look, the monster shower scene.
Alright, to cut in here, guys, to cut in here. Guys, to cut in here,
What?
just remember, the police's long neck was evolved to peep on girls' windows.
Oh my God.
You know, I just have to love that how, in all these movies, these monsters have to act like
Oh,
perverts.
shit.
Hey, girl.
We actually got some side boob. And that butt.
Oh,
What?
gee, hello.
Saving this to memory.
Hey, it's blacked out. Don't be pervs.
No, mother dead.
Okay.
I will be a perv to my dying day.
And I thought
Just
we would.
watch.
So, did the
And I thought we
did the
would get more.
plesiosaur cut the power?
Are we not
It
going
is.
to
Clever little
Oh,
bastard.
I,
Damn it.
I see now we know where Orca learned it from.
Over, man. Oh, my
Oh, hello.
She just has a bra on.
It's a
Calm down.
It's peeping! That's a peeping.
It's like the Windows whistle saying peep, peep, peep.
Okay.
That's a, turn around.
Okay, is this thing
Turn around.
really going anywhere, or?
Turn around.
Turn around.
It should be subject within dictated
What the hell?
Honestly, I thought we were getting more skin with Keijo than what we just saw.
If that scene wasn't too important, let's get to this scene.
Meanwhile,
So
in
question-
another movie.
I feel cheated.
Okay.
Like, okay, let's take a vote here. Was this or the waterfall scene from Grizzly lamer fan service?
The waterfall.
I'd say Grizzly because that one was just more of. At least this one, she was just in her home taking a shower, whereas the waterfall one's like, I'm in the middle of the woods with ice cold water around and a killer grizzly on the loose. I'm gonna take my clothes off.
Okay, it's also
Yeah.
back to how
Yeah.
the Grizzly scene was shot. You're at a distance. I mean, fuck's sake, Tarp, you couldn't even tell if she had a bra on or not. So if Grizzly scene fails utterly at fan service. This scene at least was kind of the Grizzly scene failed in every which way you look at it. And it fails even more when you think about the character.
I take it I missed a lot of things during the Grizzly movie.
It's probably it was probably the
That was-
lamest of them. So I want you to all think here for a moment. We so far have an aquatic predator, granted one that's capable of coming on land.
Yeah.
We have 3 potential victims. The small, noisy animal on the side, the woman who's completely alone in murky water in the water, and the woman sitting on a raft. Who do you think it's going to go for?
I take all
the dog.
Badly
Is
dubbed
all of
dog.
the above an option?
Well, I will say I'm surprised even the dog is badly dubbed, apparently.
What?
Seriously?
Yeah. Please spare the pupper. Please. Please, not the dog again.
Don't take the pupper.
I don't care. I don't.
Everywhere.
Something ominous
I
is
don't
farting
care about the
underwater.
human cast. Only the dog.
I think they finally put the music on the right time. Maybe. Nope, wait.
Okay, what is
Nope, the music's not right.
Finding hot women. Like it's the bear, the peeping Tom.
He's the kaiju of Tinder.
Okay, who's rat ruffling stuff?
Actually, even better, the sea creature is fantasizing that it's James Bond.
Oh, no.
Now keep in mind, this googly-eyed bastard had more budget behind it than Godzilla vs. Mothra.
Seriously?
What the fuck?
Wow.
Did they build that thing up to scale?
No, I mean there's like a full-size head, but other than that, it's mostly model.
Wow, I'm surprised she's so conscious.
Wait, she has 1 foot in his mouth, 1 foot kicking. How is she not broken yet?
We ask ourselves that question every morning, huh?
He took her shoe.
Yeah, maybe he really just wants them Nikes?
That or he's got
He's got a shoe fetish, maybe?
Oh.
I mean, I've seen weirder fetishes.
It could be weirder.
I mean, I'm pretty sure many of you on TV have heard the bloated blueberry.
Put that puffer alone.
Well, I gotta get some sleep, so see you tomorrow. I'll probably stream something.
Nightfall.
Dude, if I'm available, I'm down for seeing more Mist.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream more Mist, but maybe.
Sorry I missed it last time. My family called at the time.
Missed it.
You missed it?
I'll think about it. Well, see you tomorrow.
Night.
Hey, dude.
Night.
Missed ya.
Surviving a lot of this.
I don't.
This is a very odd choice of soundtracking. It's like.
What the hell is
What
that?
the?
What? Is it throwing up?
Guys, I got a question to think. Why is the plesiosaur coming out of its wind hole?
Shut up!
Yeah.
What's with the slow-mo
A
blood?
gag in his mouth.
That's blood?
I think...
What's going on right now?
What are we
Well, a bunch of people on a Discord group that was united by an MLP Godzilla crossover wondering what the hell is going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. She's meant to be bleeding out.
I don't think that's how and it's over.
I said meant to be. I didn't say succeeding.
I mean, it's over now, so thankfully.
Wait, why are we suddenly going into exposition?
People said they were taken away.
Let's go for it.
What was this dragon?
And the tip of that oar looks more like the tip of a bow.
Okay, there is a slightly bloody scene coming up, but I'll say the Q wins, so if anyone's squeamish, no one's gonna judge if you look away.
As long as it's not as orca scene.
No.
And dude, I work with blood on a daily basis.
Some people are squeamish, I don't judge.
I work with kids.
How are you still alive?
Okay, you want to look away now.
It's just a hand.
Though it kind of ends up being a little bit funny.
Oh my god!
Okay, now hold up. How is she alive to put her hand?
Maybe the Deadpool's under the water with a lightsaber and he just like cleanly severed her in two just a moment ago?
I'm confused.
You realize what I found here? Not just a bunch of petrified stones.
Wait. I know what's going on.
What?
This is a crossover, now becoming a crossover 28 days later. That girl's a zombie now.
Okay, but Tem, what would I be shouting I was kidding about?
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, that was more Tard making a joke.
What's that? Put up prize money?
No, I thought it was
What's that? Prize money?
Prize money?
Yeah.
Prize
sure.
money?
Prize money? Money.
Listen.
Money.
I mean, let's...
Money.
I mean...
Just another wild tale about
I mean... I mean, if you want me to make a completely out of the ballpark prediction, at least the final battle of this movie isn't going to be set to a Beatles song.
But then, do we really want to bet on that?
I mean, if it comes true, that'll be amazing.
I misheard that as "do not get derpy on the road."
Okay, to be honest,
Derpy moves away from the
anyone
water.
wants Derpy on the road?
To be fair, given its track record of decapitating horses, we would not want to get Derpy.
Well, so far at least the dog hasn't died, so you could say this is being slightly subversive.
90 meters above sea level with 12 kilometers of shoreline. It covers an area of 2 square kilometers and a depth of more than 90 meters.
So far,
surrounded
it's
by
proven to be
12
second
mountain
only to
passes
Jaws
and
in terms of
maple-covered
weirdness.
hills. It's an area with
But it's
many
not
superstitious
funny.
folk
It's not parody
tales.
funny.
Yeah, it's not K-Joe parody.
As the most advanced
By the way, I looked up Jaws more, and I confirmed, yes, all the actors in that movie are like A-listers in South Korea, so it'd be like seeing the cast of the Avengers in a movie like that for them.
That just makes it even better. And you know what? Now I just want to see Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, and the other guy in a movie where they're dealing with a giant bear.
That'd be funny.
Actually, yeah, I can see that.
I mean, they did.
Bonus points if you can get Sam Jackson to make a cameo as the first kill.
And most of them
were
were...
Tropic Thunder, so why not?
Because no one knows what to expect. Everyone is asking the same question. Is there really a creature living in the depths?
Yeah.
Attention, everyone. The lake is now off limits. Please do not go near the
Now?
water.
Yeah.
Attention.
It's only now that's off limits, you see. Before, it was just somewhat off limits.
Is the latest full-range scanning sonar.
It's like, yo, be careful, and now it's like, oh god.
You'll find them.
Previous models of the sonar.
At least they did take care of it better, unlike in Jaws, it took them like 2 days.
Will it even pick up small fish?
So, apparently that movie must have had some product placement from sports fisher radars, because they took so much time to explain it.
Guys, I'm trying to remember, what was the other guy that Crystal mentioned on the Avengers team of actors? I know he's friends with Paul Rudd, who is Ant-Man.
Mark Ruffalo.
There's no change.
No, not Mark Ruffalo.
Jeremy Renner?
Yeah, him, Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. I was making a Hawkeye gets the shaft joke.
Oh.
That's an album.
No shit.
And that for the record was an intentional pun in and of itself.
Really?
So, Evo, so far we've had France and Scotland. Apparently we have the Swiss now. Given this guy's a tire.
Wait, is this in Japan or Europe?
This is Japan, but there's an oddly high number of European outfits.
I have an explanation. This is an alternate world where Japan conquered Europe. They just went around the world and just conquered it.
Based it on scientific data.
I posted one of the
They took everything from them.
My baby's singing.
Sorry.
See this
They conquered that. And not just the Swiss, but the Germans and French. They beat them.
Well, they have repeatedly called the monster Nessie, so...
Oh, good lord, it is Swedish. No, wait, it's Ireland.
Ireland from my home country.
Yeah, no, I was singing that song "Get Air European" from the Olivia Wilde musical.
I love that song.
I've not seen the musical, I just know of that song.
Number 3 camera.
You're such a
pretty good.
You're such a pretty singer.
I swear though, if they start Moscow, I will.
Yeah, we'll get started right away.
Moscow.
In freaking Moscow with dinosaurs each.
Look, I've got pictures of this thing right here. I didn't see them
In Soviet Russia, Scottish dinosaurs go in Japanese lake.
I think that in Lake Size,
Eats
you have a plesiosaur.
and eat humans.
You mean
A plesiosaur?
dinosaur?
Among the
No!
It's not a dinosaur.
For reference, plesiosaurs are closer to frickin' turtles.
most of its life living in water.
It's a swimming dinosaur, Tarv. A swimming dinosaur.
Shut up, you sentient kangaroo.
I bet the paleontologist in you, Tarv, is screaming at these idiots.
1970s. Nobody anything.
Became extinct 70 million years
They still
ago.
don't.
I'm frankly shocked that they got the extinction date right.
Petrified bone.
Wait,
Do
seriously?
you believe the picture that I showed you? Look, I'm a UPI correspondent.
I'm
My name's
frankly
Harold
amazed.
Tucker.
Tarb, can you think of any movie that has altered the extinction date of the dinosaurs from 65 million years ago to 60 years ago just to get a 6-6 in and try and make it that the devil killed the dinosaurs?
Oh, God.
I just
Believe it or not,
that was
I actually have a very dim recollection of that being true.
Yeah, tell me there's not a movie that says that God did, like the dinosaurs never existed. God placed them in the ground to test our faith.
I think God's Not Dead sequels might have done that. I don't know for sure because I have not, because I don't hate myself enough to watch any more than the first one, but I wouldn't be surprised.
That stuff hurts my head.
Let's not talk about stupid movies, please. Let's watch this stupid movie.
Yeah, let's have a stupid movie that doesn't make us hate ourselves.
Although knowing this movie's track record of getting European, I wouldn't be surprised if we get an Evangelicus next.
I mean, let's not speak too ashamed here. The first Godzilla movie, they said that the Jurassic period was 2 million years ago.
Seriously?
Wow.
Let's not judge too much.
That was bad.
How much are we sure that wasn't a mistranslation?
Nope, it's in the original.
Oh, God.
Japan kind of lagged behind for about a decade or two when it came to history or paleontology, but they caught back up.
Makes
Yay.
me wonder if China really informed all of them about history.
I really doubt it, considering if you type Tiananmen Square online, you immediately get banned from the net.
Oh, God.
There actually people have weaponized that on cross-country servers. If there's a bunch of Chinese hackers or aloof farmers, the people will send them messages saying Tiananmen Square, and the hackers will automatically get banned because the Chinese server will pick up the word.
You know what you needed to do, Tarp, when that happened? Just send them that fic that nearly crashed your computer.
Oh.
No,
Send them my
even,
immortal.
I wouldn't wish that on any language.
You
If I
remember
sent
that,
them
Faith?
that, they would resolve to never learn the English language.
Faith wasn't there. I was there.
That was funny.
The search at Lake
Disturbing,
Sai goes
but
on,
funny.
using every
That
available
see if I remember.
scientific equipment. But still, not a single
Okay, if
thing
I remember,
has been found in
there,
the depths
there
of
was
the lake.
Corona,
If this continues, the
Drift,
mysterious monster of the
Laura,
lake will go on sleep
Tem,
in the deep blue
me,
water.
and Tarb.
Perhaps
I think
forever,
that's all of us.
has
And
for
Lion was
centuries
there
and
too.
still remains.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wasn't there when it happened, but I heard about it shortly after.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's crashing my computers.
You're going to
The X button is
let
not
that monster
working.
run around
The
free in
X
the lake
button
like that?
doesn't-
Top-level experts from the whole country.
The X button, it does nothing!
Even then, they didn't find it.
Sudoku!
So it's only natural for them to stop looking for the thing.
Oh
So-
God, it's crashing my
How many
Google
people
Files
have been killed so
too.
far? 6 people.
So they
How can you
didn't
catch something you can't even
find anything in the first
don't have any
sweep and they just leave, so apparently this is an episode of Monster Quest.
Your Honor.
You're kidding me! Oh my god, that picture. Look at that picture.
I would criticize the picture for the googly eyes, but that is accurate to this one.
Looks
Yeah.
like Yogo Pogo.
Its face looks so goofy.
Hey! That's true.
Sadly.
Look at this.
What's that? Hey, Meteororhynchus.
That's a thing.
That is not a pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl?
If it's a dinosaur, it
no.
wouldn't be very strange if there was also a pterodactyl.
That's not a dinosaur!
I get it. Let's go. Where did they get the idea that a flying dinosaur is there?
Aren't you a diver?
What? Why?
I feel my
I
IQ.
don't.
I actually can feel my IQ going down.
Why won't you die?
Every one of us has a family. Too dangerous to dive here.
I'm not a diver, but I do have diverse interests.
You're all cowards.
God, Tim.
I have diverse interests, but I'm also friends with one.
Why is everyone fighting?
There, huh?
Come on. You can't talk.
What was that sound effect of him getting hit? It was like, boom.
What, is that a coconut?
Tarp, again, to answer your question, I believe that was the sound of the chat hitting me as soon as I made the diverse interest pun.
I didn't hit you. Well, actually, I smacked everybody with a pillow.
This time.
The sobbing tragedy of the cryptozoologist.
I say, I've been a good bee.
Oh, yeah, sure,
Yeah. You never said you were a bad bee.
But I got smacked.
I mean, I didn't smack you. I smacked everybody else.
Yay.
The dog is in with the plesiosaur. They're in and on together to kill all the stupid humans.
So basically,
Well, they
like
have
the
their work
Jaws
cut out for
redneck thing.
And here comes the big, very questionable moment. He doesn't want her going in the water because of the monster.
Why did you do that?
And this is when the 70s start showing.
Know that you're a professional diver. And that you're an expert in underwater photography.
Okay.
And I know how you feel about Junko's death. But still,
Who's
you
dead?
can't go in the water.
Junko was her friend.
I still don't understand. Why not?
I forgot about her.
Don't question
I don't know. Giant monster in water?
Is it because I'm a woman?
Giant-
No, it's not that, you dumb.
Who didn't say anything about that?
Now, that's a reasonable question.
The whole thing. You really are doing
But
this
watch
wrong.
his reaction.
Isn't that right?
Oh, God. Dude, not cool. Not cool at all.
Guys,
And now it was Hank Pym and Jeanette Van Dyne so she could just blast his face.
Yes, please.
Okay, that one time it happened with Hank Pym, he was pretty much having his mind warped, so I kind of forgive him a bit in that.
Wait, are we talking about those comics when everyone said that Hank Pym was like the worst thing ever?
Yeah, and then the Ultimate Marvel made him a wife beater.
Why?
Because
he
Ultimate Marvel
smacked his
was...
wife.
Ultimate Marvel was edgy.
My head is killing me.
That's because you
Just
drank.
one animal meeting another animal.
It's not that. I'm not that drunk. It's wearing off
Hear
now.
about that?
Okay, you know what's funny, guys?
What?
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
Have
Even if
any
I
of
die,
you heard me completely freak out this entire movie?
let's do this.
The first one, I think? No.
I think he's already drunk enough because of caging.
Okay.
And if
I
should
am-
come back,
Right now, the rock taking hold. I am calm.
Why? Do you want to see me really drunk, Ari?
To cut in here, maybe Trick has become one of us now.
No, not a chance.
What of us? Now, the whole point was he didn't want her getting in danger with the monster, but since this was tied to his father's career, he feels he has to be able to see it.
Why
did he smack her?
Oh no.
And
Oh,
now
no.
they're kissing.
Oh, she's into it. Oh, she was into it.
Make
Oh,
out.
no.
No, that was her
Scene.
king. That was her king.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
she's
have to
into
be
that.
honest. When he smacked her, she started to smile, and then she forced herself to frown. She did smile.
Make out.
That was
scene
terrible acting.
With
So
focus
actually, I don't think
on
it's terrible
the
acting. I
egg.
think she's just
I think that's her thing.
I mean,
Professor, how much farther do we have to go?
Okay, I'm
How
gonna
much
have
you
to-
want to
Say harder.
You know,
Mm.
Oh, is this the Suicide Forest again?
Yeah.
No.
You don't have to try to scare me.
Daddy.
Oh god.
Ah, shut up, Tim.
None of people come in here just to commit suicide. I've been doing it for years.
Yes, like my brain cells.
Well, that's a camera.
Well, that's very kind of you.
What the fuck is that?
That's
It looks like the Teletubby custard machine.
Nice.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, let's not bring up those abominations, please.
The Teletubbies are cute, and you know it. Even if I was confused
Fun
It's
fact,
the same reason we watch ML.
Fun fact, Crystal?
Yeah, just random fun fact. You remember Macy from Fallen Kingdom? Her stunt double was played by the same person who plays Poe.
Huh.
Oh.
Huh.
So yes, for a few stunt shots, a Teletubby is in Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, that's disturbing.
Or amazing.
I haven't watched Teletubby. I don't really remember much of Teletubbies.
I have not watched Teletubbies in years, and yet I can still remember those designs.
I can still remember the baby in the sun.
Yeah,
I still remember the television chests.
I wish I fit in.
All
Yeah,
fresh up Teletubbies are cute, and you know it.
No.
Okay, Tarb, I'll put it this way.
The only major preschool show that I remember, Barney.
Barney
was even worse.
Barney is my
Barney
homeboy.
and Sesame Street. Barney and
Okay,
Sesame Street
here's
with my
the thing, Tarb.
kids.
At this point, going to the Swedish embassy that is IKEA is more tolerable than Teletubbies.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, my least favorite aspect of Animaniacs is when they kept beating up this Barney lookalike.
Aww, leave him
They
alone.
did that?
Yeah, there was a common recurring joke in Animaniacs. I don't know if it's just against Barney itself, because it was popular, or...
I think it was
just
more
about-
for the parents who were forced to have to sit and watch it. That
Ah.
was something to laugh at.
Vote number 2?
Report when you reach your position.
But still, Barney, it's like trying to make
number.
fun of Boo. You do not make fun of Winnie the Pooh. He's innocent.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't advocate for it. It's just I can understand that being your aim.
Hello.
Whoa.
Now that's a better fan service.
Now, she's trying to put her wetsuit on, so okay, that kind of makes sense. You don't want to have a lot under
Her
that.
wetsuit reminds
But do we
me
need
of
to
Kill
see
Bill.
Also, question, so
Yes.
is boat number 2 a piece of shit?
Pretty much.
I mean, we can see like outline of put a wetsuit on, but we don't have to see the process.
It's necessary for the viewing experience.
Wait, is it a depth charge?
Who's viewing experience? I wonder.
Culture.
They got depth charges.
That is reused. That was reused before, I think.
Depth charge. Maximize.
Number 2,
How so?
Well, I mean, they did say that Monster was on a rampage earlier, so it's fitting we get depth charge.
Well, he's the only aquatic maximal to think of.
And he was the one who killed Rampage, so...
Raw energy.
Well, his eardrums are now completely dead.
That's probably...
As someone who has been underwater when a firecracker went off, ow.
Ouch. Oh, there she goes.
Yes, in her efforts to avoid the monster, she wears the brightest colors possible.
Maybe it's colorblind.
He'll never see me.
In his gooey,
Oh,
his
wait, was
ugly
he out of
green
oxygen?
water.
Even if he's
I mean,
colorblind, he still
they
sees the
messed up
bright
dinosaurs.
colors.
They've messed up dinosaurs already.
Well, at least, man, they're in Power Ranger colors, so you can tell who's who.
Red, Black Ranger, and Yellow Ranger.
Oh, that's racist.
No, they're the
blame
Bumblebee
Power
Rangers.
Rangers for being racist for that.
I know.
Believe it or not, that was actually a complete accident. The actor who ended up playing Zachary, the Black Ranger, was supposed to be the blue. And yellow was actually supposed to be pink, but they had a cast shuffle up, and they picked their no colors.
Your Honor.
I know. That's why I was making the joke, Faith. I was making the joke.
And it legitimately didn't dawn on them until about 10 episodes in.
Yeah.
Funnily enough,
I really would have liked to have seen the dawning looks of horror when that announces it to everyone else.
You know the old movie when you hear the people say head.
Okay, what are you guys talking about?
I have no idea what's going on.
The racial thing was only on like the original Power Rangers. Like
Yeah.
the other Power Ranger series, we do see people of different ethnicities play the Black and Yellow Rangers.
Okay, I'm missing context about this.
Okay, Evo, just
Just forget it, dude. I brought it up because I was trying to be.
No, well, I kind of said the comments, and then Xanadu said it.
Okay.
So yeah, blame me. I took it way out of.
Was that somebody's head?
Yeah.
What?
Something floated. There it is again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
What does this thing have about taking people's heads off?
And this would be the opening shot of every Japanese.
Hold on, let me see. Decapitation! Decapitation!
Oof. How are you not dead?
And I can't get off.
Dude, you just fell 20 feet on a rock.
Actually, out of curiosity, does anybody know where the decapitation meme originated from?
Brutal Legend, I think. There's a game Jack Black is voicing in it.
Next time I'll
Yeah, he's like a rock
Oh,
star
yeah,
and you have
Brutal
the battle
Legend.
with him.
Too rough to keep going on?
Which is
And he's the
basically
roadie.
like it's somehow.
Yep, I actually played the game myself a while back.
Oh, there's the eggs. Do I have to say it?
Eggs.
No.
Oh, fuck!
What do you know about
Right.
When I wake up, the first thing I do, eggs.
I just realized there's crystals here.
You're mine,
Vanilla? Vanilla, why are you here?
I'll borrow. I'll beg. I even kiss you for my
Dose.
I'll beg. Jeez.
Oh, look, it's a giant claw.
Rodan! That's not Rodan!
Wait, if there's crystals here, and we had Zen mentioned earlier. Oh crap! It's Space Rodan.
No
Wait, there's space. First, there's Space Godzilla. Now there's Space Rodan.
Space.
As always, insert space.
Well,
Okay,
I can say one thing. At least they're still partially in the water, because if you're in a wetsuit on land, you are dying.
Practically.
I was stuck on the shore for 30 minutes in the sun in a black wetsuit. I was so miserable.
Oh God.
That is prime. That sounds like prime, like, sit your ass down and try to meditate through it and stuff.
Oh, that's a dead foot. Foot dead.
Foot.
Dummies are always terrible.
His expression looks like mildly bemused, like, huh.
That's
There's people
interesting.
with great jelly
Oh,
thrown
both
on
of
them.
them are dead.
I can't even tell if their screams are Japanese or the English dub. They're so
They're
bad.
always English, and they're always so yes, they're
This shot reminds me of something. I can't remember what.
D&D Wars.
Oh, getting awful dark, Your Honor. Oh.
Oh, here comes the funkiest soundtrack in the entire movie.
I'm positive. Go and warn everybody.
I'm positive. Go and warn everybody.
There's a chair! Run away!
Jeez, I was joking about it being Space Rodan.
I was joking about Zanilla was here.
What?
Look, you know, on a side note, Tar, why do I not want to see Zanilla versus Space Rodan?
Can you see it?
Oh, this thing.
Listen to this thing's theme song.
What the?
Seriously? Now, all we needed was then for it to wear gold polyester and have plenty of body hair.
Okay.
Never gonna barf you up. Always gonna wolf you down. Gonna burn down and eat you.
Okay, so imagine that that in the context of this movie, the creature is humming this theme in its head.
Oh my god.
So you want Rodent to kill this thing.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill these humans.
He's dead.
Hang on.
This whole song on loop.
I think at some point Zen would just get so ticked off and try to kill whoever's playing music.
Yeah, he'll just...
Oh, plot twist! It's Junior and it's April Fool's Day.
Oh my
And Chibi. It was Chibi's idea.
And Rodan's all painted up to be
Oh
Space
god,
Rodan.
and they're all taken covered by the depth charges.
It's just a prank.
Lightly
Apparently, these people learned nothing from the Akagi.
Yeah, this thing is a lot worse than the PC story projects.
This googly-eyed bastard looks like the Cocoa Puff bird on crack.
Yeah.
Puff bird on crack. Froze on me.
Okay, that was all there.
Oh, guys. Ironic twist. Alright, so assuming this thing is the Cocoa Bird. Ironic twist. It shares the same distaste for chocolate like it does Crystal here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it lightly smacked somebody with its tail, and he shot the depth charges and then killed everyone, and the Rampharinkus was like, huh, alright, I'm out.
Wait, if it was a Rampharinkus, it should have been making noises.
Would you like me to tell you the actual sizes of the creatures involved here? Plesiosaurus was less than the size of a bottlenose dolphin.
Seriously?
And Rampharinkus was the size of about a crow.
Pigeon.
Like, smaller than a seagull.
Wow.
I mean, I'm all for some oh no, wait, never mind. That's the wrong period.
Rampharinkus is Jurassic, so I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but I was about to say, I'm all for some Triassic representation, but this is forcing it. But then I remembered, no, wait, that's not the right answer.
And it's not like big members of their family weren't known. Elasmosaurus was the size of a killer whale, and you could have picked someone like Pteranodon or Quetzalcoatlus back then.
Oh, Rampharinkus.
What is happening now?
It's a garden hose. Oh, wait, it's the plesiosaur.
He was underground?
Apparently, he's in the forest.
So wait, is he a super secret agent?
It's a lie. I saw it.
I'm sorry, all I'm hearing is Debbie Does Dallas.
Stop screaming, woman!
Yeah, lady, if I saw that thing, I'd probably be shrieking at what the hell did the effects budget go to?
You know, when
Tarb, it went to securing all of the music rights.
Probably at this point.
Arrow screamed less than you do. That's saying something.
You know, he should divide and slap here again. I wouldn't blame him.
I mean, some of the distance shots, it doesn't look bad, and I thought it even looks okay in the forest.
It's ugly up close.
Aren't we all ugly up close?
Yeah.
Oh my god, there actually is a guy in that thing. I just saw the limbs move.
Oh my god.
There's a guy in this movie walking around with a giant puppet neck stuck to his face.
And thus the Wiggler helm from the Monster Hunter series takes on a horrifying new possibility. And somebody who has better access to that to a picture of that than me can post that in SFW if they care.
It's sunset! No, stop drinking from the fishbowl.
Nugget.
Nugget good.
I think you can run through that.
Bastard.
What the heck were you thinking of going into the freaking rocks?
It's opposite day? So you do the opposite of what would logically be the right choice?
Lady Amanda Kirby was more silent than you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, her screams are annoying me.
And is this the dubbed version or the original version?
No, she's just as bad in the original.
It looks like they're one.
And almost as bad as that green screen?
Yeah.
He has a knife.
Yeah, that'll do like it. So we have Discosaurus versus Funky Dactyl.
Here we go.
This is like 70s, the kaiju movie.
I just want freaking Godzilla rodent to team up and just beat the living shit out of these things.
Now, logically, these things have absolutely no reason to attack each other, which means they are drawn to each other like a fucking magnet just to give us a fight scene. How good do you think this is about to be?
I give it... Okay, I'm gonna give it 1 out of 10 on actual quality and a full 9 out of 10 on entertainment value.
Keep in mind...
That's what I'm...
Oh, go on.
That's what I'm guessing.
What you are seeing is over double the effects budget of Godzilla Reigns Again.
Wow.
Where a full-size set of Osaka was ripped to shreds by the guy in the Godzilla and Anguirus actor's suits.
Wow, this is some terrible green screening.
Yeah. People who kept shit talking the show
Oh my
series
gosh,
need to
look,
shut their
and this
faces.
puppeteer is terrible.
This whole movie is essentially Web Garden Rose versus the dysfunctional kite.
This looks like something that should be on like an old-style water ride. Like you only see it for maybe 5 seconds, so it doesn't look that bad. But then if the ride gets stuck at a certain point, you can notice how horrible it is.
Like that.
Also, on a side note, they're back in the window again.
What is that flying?
Oh god, it's Flappy Bird!
Oh god!
Fill with fire! Flap to assert dominance. And the Plesiosaur just looks like, so what?
Plesiosaur is like, what's up, bro?
The Plesiosaurus is so confused it's not even trying to fight anymore.
Is like, what?
He just gave up.
This big googly-eyed
Okay.
thing just flew into my face, did that, and then flew away.
Okay, Tarv, coming back to my earlier score prediction, I was completely off the mark. This is a 0 out of 10 fight, and I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 anyway. This is magic that you can't just make up.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and now they kiss. And suddenly they start making out and trying to mate, and this fight has transformed into a model sex scene.
Well, I mean, Toei did used to make porn.
Is definitely moving.
Yep.
Mothra and Godzilla.
What the?
I think he popped a zit.
Missed.
Right in the
That
eye.
looked like a beach ball. That legit looked like a beach ball.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. You know, I have one theory on where the budget went. I have a feeling that all the smoke you see rising out of the ground is literally them burning money.
Oh.
That is...
So that's them just
with all the money. We tried burying it, shredding it, then burning it. But in the end, we decided to just give it all away.
Wait.
I'm getting fine.
Okay, I'll give it credit. That was actually a halfway decent shot.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
Oh,
it
no,
has fire breath now.
There's fire now.
And now
Yep.
there's flame.
And
oh.
volcanoes.
Lava.
Why not? I mean, I guess the Brachiosaurus has arrived on scene a few decades early.
Yep.
It's erupting.
Really? I had no idea until you pointed that out.
Wow, those streams of ketchup and water are making for some very ineffective eruption effects.
So that's scalding water. You'll probably get out.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something else I'd like to note here. Counting for inflation, this movie had twice the budget of the Heisei Gamera movies.
Wow. What?
Gamera Guardian of the Universe had a budget of about... Let me double check this number. Budget was about $4.5 billion. Sorry, $4.5 million. Accounting for inflation, if you converted 1977 to 1995, when Gamera came out, this movie would have a budget of over $7 million.
Oh my god.
Now keep in mind, this is in Japan, so its budget is considerably less requirements than an American movie, but...
Of course, but still, with what they could accomplish in the Heisei...
Oh, here we go, another music problem.
Quick, they're demolishing the set!
You know, I'll give them credit, the earthquake effects here aren't terrible. I've seen much worse.
Okay, actually, that's impressive right there.
Hey, look, it's the budget.
Oh, there's the budget.
Okay, there's the budget.
There's the budget.
Okay, so this is the budget, but the Earth's coming apart in a giant monster movie, so where are my torteras?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's two things that can cause earthquakes in giant monster movies. Either something's... Alright, torteras
well, Groudon's
or...
only 10 feet tall. He's not giant.
Well, I was going to say the Red Ranger could be summoning the Tyrannosaurus Sword to put an end to this mess.
Okay, see, here's the thing. That 10-foot tall thing for Groudon is complete bullshit, and we know it.
Yeah.
I know it, but it's always fun to point out how not huge legendaries are.
But I'm sorry, if I want a legendary Pokemon, I want them to be fucking legendary in size.
And this music.
Well, that was mostly in Pikachu Detective Story. Oh, I thought you said Torterra.
Bro, crying sounds like fun time.
I'm honestly confused. What happened to the monsters by this point?
Lava
there they are.
There's one.
Well, if a dinosaur appears, we'll also have magnitude 5 earthquakes.
Seriously?
Okay, so what you're telling me is that even though it's not a sauropod, we are getting the Brachiosaur death from Fallen Kingdom a full 40 years early.
Yeah? There's nothing Fallen Kingdom didn't steal.
Music sucks.
Was the sound effects guys trying to get fired?
I think so.
No, I think the entire crew was just taking the piss by this point.
Yeah. They're probably far more drunk than I am right now.
Did they lose the soundtrack and they had to throw on what was on the radio as this buffer? What happened?
We ask ourselves every day.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm saying this is even more of an acid trip than Shaw's.
This particular scene, yeah.
I am so
Also,
confused.
I have to admit, it's not a Beatles song, but my earlier prediction isn't that far off.
Why else do you think I was so silent?
Oh my god, I was kidding!
Oh, what the frick?
Like seriously, Shaw's seems sane compared to this.
At least
Oh, yeah.
Shaw's was trying to be funny, though. This is just stupid. Oh, and how do you think they're gonna get out? We had a random
The
helicopter.
dinosaur's going to rise, not dinosaurs, the monsters are going to rise out of the depths and they're going to magically save them. For no reason.
The fire.
Although I will give this movie, actually no, I won't give this movie credit but I will give them, I don't know, I'd like it if they both died.
Still trying to get off? tapped up a couple times and there's...
This is dragging way too long.
How are they not dead yet?
Yeah, this is going on way too long.
This has been going for 5 minutes.
Seriously?
I'm keeping track.
Oh god.
We have been seeing these bastards dangle for 5 minutes.
Hurry.
Hurry up! Are they dead yet?
No.
This is where my mother would ask, are they dead yet?
Are they dead yet?
Are we dead
Are
yet?
you dead yet?
She did the same thing.
Wait. Please tell me the movie ends here. That would be...
Please.
Get on with it!
Akiko!
Yeah.
Nope, we got another song.
Oh my god.
I swear, if they spend the next 5 minutes pulling each other up.
This
I'm
makes me
getting another
want to watch the Boar movie again.
Can we have the
Yes,
band, please?
Yes, I want the pig and the crazy women back.
Okay, what's with the Hawaii volcano shots?
And that's the end.
I was kidding!
What? The movie ends at the what?
The movie just ends.
What?
It just gives up on itself.
The clones of Bruce Lee conclusive ending than that.
Oh, brother.
Tarb, I only watched half that movie, and I feel like my brain just went through a swirly.
Okay, you know what?
This makes
Tarb, what was the title
Boar
of the
movie
movie again?
look tame in comparison.
Oh, I'm dead on that side.
Tarb. What was the name of this movie again? I need to look up the damn
Legend of Dinosaurs and Monster Birds.
Legend. God damn it.
Yes, and the movie just ends there. There is no more. We are not missing a scene. I went to the effort of checking the Japanese. It ends right there.
And I saw the sign, the symbols that they show that mean the end. Oh, buddy.
Okay.
Seriously?
This movie does hold one distinction, though.
What?
It is the highest grossing kaiju film in Russia. Because
Sorry.
it was
Dying.
Sorry, Tarb, can you repeat that? Somebody was coughing.
It's okay. It is the highest grossing kaiju film until Pacific Rim in Russia. Because it was the only kaiju film in the US ever released in the USSR. It's not an achievement at all. It's just an odd fact that you can pull up because this movie is full of really weird facts.
Yeah, I can see it.
It got me to pull the I was kidding thing twice in less than an hour.
And I said thought twice. Achievement.
So, yeah, you've all broken your records. You have exceeded your limits. You have surpassed them.
What a way to kick off the
guys,
third month of the year.
I am reading the tropes page.
And this
Well, it's not the third month
even
yet.
further beyond.
Okay.
Actually, it is on my end.
Oh, well, lucky you.
Here's what the page says for the recycled in space trope.
What?
This film is pretty much what if Jaws was made in Japan and had a giant plesiosaurus instead of a shark and a very funky soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the positive note,
Hmm?
again, guys, on the positive note, next time we're going to be seeing the MST3 cut of this movie.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
We will see people riffing a movie we are riffing.
Riffception.
So, I think if anything, I can't believe it's not Jaws month has taught us one thing. Never, ever try to outdo East Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they will find a way to make it just weird every time.
Unless you're Guillermo del Toro, then you might be able to get away with it.
Oh, yeah. Guillermo del Toro does everything his own cool style.
Yeah, you can,
Yeah,
you
we
can
love
certainly
it
give
for
it a
it.
good try.
Seriously, though, they really should have done with Silent Hill
Mm-hmm. So to run down the list on reactions, Croc, are you still with us?
Yeah, I am.
What was your
you were
reaction?
silent there, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you fell asleep.
I didn't want to do more talking.
Oh, it's fine.
Also, I've been watching the show and reading a interesting comic about get this. I think it was a comic based off of Beast Wars, but with the future's wild animals.
Oh yeah, I've seen that comic.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
seen that one?
They also use some of the Afterman creatures.
Yeah, the bat thing is freaky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Death Glider.
Death Gliders are awesome.
Yeah.
And the Poggles are adorable.
Neat. Well, to run down the list of Croc, what did you think of the movie for the parts that you were seeing that were melting your brain?
Hang on, I'm trying to find the right word to describe this movie.
We got those hamburger patties in the freezer, don't we?
That's a good description. Yeah, that can work.
We got the hamburger patties in the freezer, don't we?
It was.
I'm hungry.
There is a bit of dinosaurs in there, which is pretty nice. Really confusing. Not as confusing as Jaws, but it was kind of straightforward. It wasn't too bad. I still think the weirdest thing I saw with you guys is Jaws. Like, I question so much shit.
That is an achievement that South Korea managed to out-Japan Japan.
And at their own game, too.
Crystal, what would you say for... You saw... you actually came in at about 1/3 in, so you did eventually see a decent chunk of the movie.
Rice Krispie Treats versus Lucky Charms, the movie.
Snap, crackle, pop.
And they can name them. Can you? That about sums up my thoughts, honestly. 10 out of 10 riffing material. Would buy the soundtrack. Maybe like 2 if I was being actually critical, which why are you being actually critical if this movie? That's an that's like resisting the Borg or something. I don't know. It's futile. In terms of it's not quite as delightfully insane as Jaws, except in a few places. Crap. God damn it. Just move on to Drift. He's probably more coherent than I am right now. Oh no, wait, it's Drift.
I'm drunk.
You know what? You're still probably more coherent than me.
I believe I'm in that weird zone of I am drunk, but at the same time I'm sober.
You're at the very...
Yes.
Lucid drunk.
Yes, I am. And again, think of it this way. You have not heard me break into my trademark profanity this entire movie.
No rage quit.
Exactly. So one...
That's saying something.
That's a new record for me. 2... God damn, was this movie boring!
Yeah. I focused on the comic more than this.
Good. Yeah, like the last 10 minutes of this movie were just...
Boring.
Fuckity God.
Well, keep in mind, 5 of those 10 minutes was seeing the 2 leads hanging onto a log.
Yeah, that's true. And even then, it was just...
I admit I probably had the advantage of coming in a third of the way in, so I got to skip the probably even really boring first third, I bet.
Yeah.
I think...
See, the funny thing is, I got I usually started drinking during the Keijo thing, and I just rode the drunkenness through this movie. So,
like that time.
I'll be honest. I think this is the one time where I actually came to the stream all prepared. I came prepared, folks. I came in drunk.
In some cases, you could say it's a benefit for some movies.
Yes.
Like
in this case,
I remember
one of them.
I remember back when the Nostalgia Critic and his brother were doing their live reactions to the stuff they have to review, and they had Green Lantern movie and Kangaroo Jack back to back. For the intro to the Kangaroo Jack one, literally, like, he zooms in on, this is where the whiskey was when we started, then he shows, and this is how much was left by the time we were done Kangaroo Jack. So for this live reaction, we are basically smashed. And it was unironically the most entertaining video he had put out in years.
But as far as critical thoughts, for sheer entertainment value, I would say maybe a 2.5 to 3 out of 10. And as far as being accurate, that is a negative shitstorm out of a scale of what the fuck.
There's the drift we know and love.
This movie was a complete nonsensical clusterfuck that is best viewed with friends and completely smashed with more than a shot of rum mixed with root beer.
Shut up, rum.
Nice.
So let's see. Evo, you're next up on the plate. The silence is worrying.
Evo?
I'm trying to think about what to say about this movie.
A perfectly valid reaction, Evo. You saw me trying to stutter my way through an explanation.
Okay, well, let's see. So apparently, Japanese Elvis, contracted by the Flintstone Company, was fighting Japanese Nessa in Japanese France. And I'm just still waiting for Japanese Michael Jackson to be the movie. Yeah. I mean, then let's see, if Michael Jackson actually makes it in this movie, that means that we get to see Nezuko running around with a giant pterosaur.
Yeah.
This is where the liquor came in handy.
I'm half convinced he was just off screen, and that's why we heard so much funk music.
And all the while, we had basically gangster raptors fighting. They had we just never got to see that action, unfortunately. I guess they were fighting the mole people.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Let's see, what other references can I make? Because it would be more interesting than what we were seeing in the movie. Let's see, Lake Placid. I could make a Lake Placid reference. I have nothing to say about this movie other than just trying to think of every reference I could smash into.
One could
other than make me wants to write this weird crossover, it'd probably be more interesting than the movie itself.
One could say this is like watching a bunch of horror films at the exact same time.
Yeah, but not getting scared, but more like terrified for your sanity.
And let's see, we had Darkness from Konosuba, since we had the wife seemed to be a masochist. I was waiting for her to pull off her real blonde hair.
Oi, oi, oi.
Indeed.
Well, babe, this is the first full movie horror film you've sat through on the month of the stream. How did you feel?
Confused, lost, a little scared. Mainly confused.
So,
I mean it in a sarcastic way.
I know.
I mean, what it is.
Don't worry,
Or
Omar.
what it
Queen, you're not
was.
the only one.
this is
I
a
am
movie.
happy that I got to see some side boob and ass, though.
The funny thing is,
Spoken by a
we
true
happened
woman
to
of
look-
culture.
Damn
I
right.
happened to look
Back
away
off, she's
just
mine.
as that happened, so I saw nothing.
You poor soul.
I know. I missed the best part of the movie.
I'm half curious if the MST3K is going to cut that part out or not.
The MST3K
I wouldn't be
version,
surprised.
is that the new version of MST3K that did this, or the old one?
Old one. It actually was one of the
Oh.
earlier episodes.
I'm not a fan of the new MST3K.
I think it's good.
I found it funny. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah. Everyone has a title to it.
Yeah.
Well, Ari, you're on the chopping block.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Next.
Now I know why he hates this movie. With the passion. Oh my freaking god. Everyone that's been complaining about the Showa movies, shove this movie up their faces right now. And sit there.
No. Ari. That's being too gentle. No. What you want to do is give them a extra hyper strength made from concentrated essence of this movie. And then you shove it up their asses.
You guys are great at coming up with like fitting descriptions of insanity for this.
Oh, and then through the whole process, you're just cackling madly while sipping a dry martini.
Yeah.
I mean, if it works.
No. Dry martini is not strong enough for this kind of movie. What you need is the infamous pan-galactic goggle blaster.
Oh yes.
I'd
and not
just
just
say
one.
drink
No,
your
no,
coffee
no.
black.
No, you don't want just one gargle blaster. You want all the gargle blaster.
I'll take a margarita.
Oh, the black coffee. Anyway, so
coffee.
about this movie. You know what's funny? After
What?
watching Orca, it's weird considering that Orca is really depressing. I remember a lot more Orca than this stupid movie. I remember the characters from Orca. The ending was not slow and painful at all. This movie is so boring.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, just no. Now I can understand Brandon's pain and suffering. That poor man. That poor Canadian man.
Let's bow our heads to the sanity of a brave Canuck.
Yes.
Alright, let us have a moment of silence.
Okay. Alright,
Okay, now, Zan.
You're up.
Okay. Let me say that I'm grateful that I'm not entirely sober when I'm giving my review here. This is basically Japan's take on taking over the entirety of Europe while also trying to be as 70s as possible. And I think that's pretty much where all their budget went. Trying to, convince themselves that they've, understand European trends is, with the times as possible. And not necessarily succeeding at it. I mean, the only thing that was actually good about the movie's budget was the earthquake effects. They didn't even get the facts behind that right.
Shake the camera. Shake it more.
Oh, it was more than just shaking the camera. Actually, that part was at least legitimately convincing and actually looked pretty frightening. The rest was just a jumbled mess of who knows what, and so monumentally boring. I honestly was more interested in the paint on my wall dry than watching the love affair between who's his face and what's her face. I don't even remember their name.
I've had the 2 screens just half filled, and I've just been working on my story while half watching this.
I was half attempted to pull up my Switch and play Hyrule Warriors playing this thing.
Okay, and you all know the thing is, Zan? I
What?
used to do maintenance work in my old hotel. I actually have watched paint dry.
And was it just as more entertaining than this?
Yes, especially when I applied a heat gun to it.
Oh yeah, well I could definitely tell you that a heat gun wouldn't be enough to save us from the Boar movie that we were watching earlier, that was at least funny because of just how absurd and ridiculous this was.
Yes,
that was the Keijo. That was the Keijo of like Korean kaiju movie. This, as a kaiju movie, was just utterly forgettable. I don't even like.
Actually, no. Wait. Actually, I did it. Calling this movie a shit is an insult to actual shit.
Yeah, because shit actually has some beneficial features to the environment. This would be toxicity to a compost pile.
No, that's harmful to the compost pile.
Exactly.
I'm the trash man. The only possible value this movie could have is as a warning.
Exactly.
Actually, no.
How not to do a kaiju film.
Okay, now see, the only other use that this movie would have is to convince alien species out there not to mess with us by sheer virtue of us being so irrecoverably bad. The ass insane.
But what if they reproduce that by that method?
Oh God.
Well, then we're fucked.
I think this is a case study. You should keep the funk and the prehistoric creatures in at least a 5-mile radius or between each other. Don't let them get in the same spot.
Out of this house. Out of this house.
Yeah, exactly. This was just.
No, Ari, it's spirits be gone from this house. Spirits be gone.
The power of Christ compels you.
I need a young priest and an old priest.
And
and guys, to go with the whole spirits be gone thing, I actually do have sage in this house.
Ooh.
Yep. You might want to put like a
Light up
spruce
right
of
now.
it. Put like a little spruce of it under your pillow tonight, and that way the funky plesiosaur will not come and see you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let me just post an off-topic what I mean by freaking sage.
Okay.
Well, that's
no,
pretty
I'm not
much
going to
my
light it
thoughts
all
about it. Yeah.
I think I know what he means by sage.
Yeah.
Well, Lance,
So,
that
yeah,
means.
This was not
a.
This was a weird movie, but I don't know if it was actually in a good way. I mean, some special effects were decent. Everything else was just utterly forgettable. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Fine. And an off-topic, there's the sage.
It was entertaining to riff, even if the movie itself wasn't entertaining.
I'm just wondering where the heck all that budget went.
I'm still standing by the theory that the fires we saw was them literally burning yen.
I'm going to stand by my theory that it was all went to getting the rights to the music.
Yeah.
Maybe the catering was just really good.
Yeah. Lance, the floor, I believe, is yours. Knock us dead.
Well, as I said earlier, this movie was an even bigger acid trip than Shaw's. Please note, I'm not saying it's better than Shaw's. I'm not saying it's more entertaining than Shaw's. Massive trip.
Well, guys,
this movie is surreal.
Well, gents, I am now saging everything in this house for you guys.
Oh.
Good move. Wise move.
We're gonna need it.
Why did they play that music with those scenes? Why is Theosaur in a forest? What? Huh? Why did it just end? Like, seriously, that ending, The clones of Bruce Lee had a more conclusive ending than that. And that movie literally cuts to black in the middle of the ending.
Wow.
Like, as dragging off the big bad, as the police are dragging off the big bad, the movie just cuts to black with no warning.
Yikes.
Whew. And that had a more conclusive ending than this.
Fuck.
That was...
Shy, your parents have immaculate timing.
Don't
This is I think this is the movie that this month that is the most fun to rip into.
Yeah.
Like as compared to Orca, I think Orca is purely from a technical perspective the best all month, but it was no fun to rip into because it was an actual tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie is like the anti-Orca for all the right and wrong reasons.
That's pretty much exactly why I picked it suddenly for tonight.
Actually,
I was going to show it next week, but I figured, screw it. Most of us are up
you know what?
anyways.
I do have one good thing to say about it.
Oh?
What?
The puppy survived.
Oh, that is true.
That
The
is
dog
true.
survived.
That is true.
Thank
Boomer
God
did
for
live.
Puppy.
The badly dubbed dog lived.
I do take it. Would you copy?
Alright, then, Lion?
That's it.
Hey, Taylor, are you there?
Taylor, you dead?
I think he's asleep.
Taylor?
He was lulled to rest by the lovely dosage.
The movie claimed another victim.
Taylor,
no! Well then, we must move on. To
Meme Lord, you're up.
Meme Lord?
Trying to think of what. Alright, so trying to think about. It feels like this movie about a fight between a flying dinosaur versus a wet noodle came out of somebody's pinhole to exist solely to trigger a Florida man, have a Walmart cashier suffer a nervous breakdown, make an Idaho nurse and some Texan asshole just suffer a hangover the next morning.
Hey, I am not an asshole.
That sounds like a more entertaining movie than this.
I am not an asshole. I am a jackass and proud of it.
I'm definitely gonna have a hangover after this. I'll tell you.
Tim, you have surpassed your limits. That was amazing.
Please tell me somebody was recording that.
I am recording this whole thing.
Yay!
Alright, so request, alright. So, now I was just gonna say, so when I get to, like, with some of my praise, try to put in USA run in the background. I am now bound to surpass my plus ultra.
Okay, I honestly wasn't listening. Why are we plotting Sam?
He managed an epic riff, which I'm glad that I was recording. So what I'm gonna do once I'm off is I'm going to get into Vegas, try to sync up the audio with the visual because I can't record the movie, and then I'll put it in the library.
Oh, this will be fun.
And because this movie is public domain, I should be able to put it on YouTube.
Oh, it's public domain? Oh.
Yes!
Because Toei never renewed the license on it to my knowledge.
Oh,
man.
Alright, so...
I mean, looking back,
gold.
they didn't flash some friends.
Yeah?
Like, rewatching the Chaws...
Everything else they did.
Rewatching the Chaws after Tarb started recording, it's as magical as ever, but... As we look back on, I cannot believe it's not Jaws month. I have taken the 5 movies I have seen and ranked them and give them a nifty little reward each. Shall I read it?
Go on.
Yes,
all right.
This is going to be entertaining as all fuck, so
fire
away.
In 5th place, Grizzly, earning the Best Substitute for NyQuil reward.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Tonight's movie in 4th place, earning both the Best Acid Trip and the most not worth remembering the name of reward. In second place,
Third place.
Wow, even I can't keep track of my numbers now. In third place, Razor are back, earning the most shocking opening award and the biggest gap in quality between opening and climax rewards.
Okay, I think what you mean is Razorback.
Razorback.
In second place, Orca, earning the boring but practical purely best movie reward. And in first place, the love of the runaway smash hit of the month, Shaws, winning the most entertaining the fuck award and earning the best reactions out of literally everybody award.
Especially Crystal with his iconic meme. I
didn't know!
Allegiance.
I cannot believe that became a running joke throughout this month.
No.
Well,
Okay.
that's just what happens when you watch such trope-tastic movies.
And I'm just more amused that when Tarm had the idea to decide to turn it to the RP session, that I thought of putting in Benny fucking Hill as the theme music.
And it would fit.
Which I proceeded to put in.
Yes, and it just made it so much.
And it's on YouTube.
Oh man, that was a night.
Ways for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I was drunk then too.
My God.
What?
Just thinking and looking back on...
This is what you have to deal with on a basis, Faith.
I love it.
I'll be honest, this month was so much goddamn fun.
Yes.
Let's
make it better the next month.
See,
I am so glad I picked this subject for the month. I was tempted with several ideas, but I thought, no. I know 4 of these films are hot garbage, except for kind of Orca. But I know this is what we need to do.
Yes!
And, you know, here's the bad thing. Is that the only reason I managed to make it to even remotely some of these little streams is literally because I am jobless. So, yay?
Yay!
I mean, you know, like, silver lining, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
This kept your morale up.
Oh, yes. Indeed. Keep me from getting too depressed over being jobless.
Oh, you have us, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's less depression and more, oh, God, how am I going to survive the next stream with these yahoos?
Don't worry, the next stream will be dealing with boat girls.
Evo, one little thing about that.
Nah.
So, Evo, like, obviously next turn is yours, but next Friday, could I maybe show the Keijo OVAs first?
Okay.
Alright, cool. That's just the content of one episode, so that'll be the opening act, and then it's all yours for the rest of the month.
Okay.
I think like weird anime should be like a gag for us.
Yeah.
Oh, nope.
You know,
I
I think the month was actually even better because we were the weird lineup. We were watching a weird ass anime and then watching a weird ass horror film right after. It was like perfect build up. Ironic perfect build up.
Yeah, like we started with the strictly good but still had plenty to riff Razorback, transitioned into the out of nowhere WTF that was Shaws, immediately proceeded to jump off of Mount Everest, cut in half and into the pit that was Grizzly, resurfaced out of a random new ocean we created out of that crater, and then somehow the resulting cataclysm resulted in this thing, which I still haven't bothered to learn the name of.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong.
All the while, every time the opening act was the greatest sports story ever told.
It fits so perfectly. It's like poetry.